Okay, y'all. So today we are going to do a reaction video to one of the videos I found about Coach Travis Turner. As of now, he's still missing in the woods. I presume that he has killed himself, but we don't know. So if you're not familiar with the story already, this is a great video, and I'm gonna react to it. So let me get it going.
Good morning. A small Virginia community is waking up to a nightmare, one that no one saw coming.
Okay, that's
Travis Turner, the high school football coach praised for discipline, leadership, and years of mentoring
high
teenage
school
boys,
football coach.
is now the
Let's keep that in
target of a
mind.
statewide manhunt. Just hours before investigators arrived at his home with a sweeping list of child exploitation charges, Turner vanished. His truck was found, his personal belongings.
Okay, so real quick, just hours before he vanished, before they came to his house to speak to him about um, solicitation charges. Okay, how is that? How is it just hours before? Like, what a coincidence that would actually be. We know somebody's snitching. We know this is a small town. He probably has friends that he grew up with in the police department. Like, somebody's talking. And they gave him a tip, and he walked into the woods and hasn't been found ever since.
Himself, gone without a trace. Parents are stunned.
Going there.
Students are confused. Prosecutors say the evidence against him is extensive, but the bigger question, the one gripping the entire state, is how a man trusted with children for years could disappear the very moment the truth was closing in.
Right.
This morning, we break down everything we know about the case, the charges, the investigation, and the mystery surrounding where Travis Turner is right now.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A once quiet county in Virginia is now the center of a manhunt that has stunned parents, shaken an entire school system, and raised a question no one in this community ever expected to confront. How does a beloved high school football coach simply disappear at the exact moment authorities arrive at his home with a stack of child exploitation charges?
My God.
For years, Travis Turner wasn't just a coach. He was a local figure, someone parents trusted, someone students looked up to. A man who stood on the sidelines every Friday night under bright stadium lights, shaping the lives of teenagers, mentoring boys who believed he was the kind of adult you could admire, the kind of adult you could become.
Okay, good question.
But that image collapsed in one
Do y'all
single
know?
morning.
You can leave it in the comments below. I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time using StreamYard, y'all. So I have to go back to the video and pause it. But do y'all know if it is boys or girls that he was soliciting? I mean, it's a child regardless, but is it boys or girls? He's been dealing with boys. He's a football coach. They trust him. He's been in the community, small town. That's a question that I would like to know. Okay.
Morning. Before dawn on November 2025, investigators with the Shenandoah County Sheriff's Office said they were preparing to serve Turner with multiple felony warrants.
Oh my God.
10 counts tied to possessing illicit images of minors,
Oh
and
my
one
God.
count connected to distribution.
Oh,
Serious charges,
distribution.
life-changing charges,
Oh, yeah, no.
charges that
Definitely
destroy
got
reputations, families, and communities in a split second.
Yeah, no.
Yet before
Solicitation
officers
and
even reached the
distribution
front
is
porch,
crazy.
something had already happened. Turner was gone.
Yeah, one of his friends
His
let
truck,
him know about that.
parked near his home. His everyday items left behind.
Because he was about to go
No
down
forced entry.
in a small
No
community
sign of
too.
a struggle.
Yeah, they
Just
tried to get his
silence.
ass.
And a disappearance that made the situation even
Those his
darker.
kids?
Because disappearances don't happen by accident. Not when you know the police are coming. Not when you're facing charges that carry decades in prison.
He
Within
must be on
hours,
the Olympic or something.
word spread through the school district. Students learned the news through whisper chains, text
They
messages, screenshots.
so
Parents received official alerts. The community spiraled. How could the man who coached their children be at the center of this kind of investigation?
yeah.
How long had this been happening? How did no one see it? And
Is it his
what everyone
football
kept
shit
circling back to,
that he has been taking pictures
where
of
is
and
he?
distributing?
Authorities now call Turner wanted and a
Like,
fugitive,
my God.
a man avoiding
Who's that?
arrest, a man on the run. But there is a deeper one that investigators are quietly acknowledging.
Distributing it
When
just
someone
out of hand.
disappears under these circumstances,
Out of hand.
the fear isn't just that he's hiding. The fear is that he might harm himself, or that
I think he's
someone,
dead.
somewhere, is
I
helping
think
him
it was
hide.
too embarrassing. I think it was too
Both
painful.
possibilities are
And he
on the
either was
table.
going to
Meanwhile, the high school is trying to
be in jail
navigate the
for the rest of
fallout.
his life and be embarrassed,
Parents
or
demanding
he's gonna go out
answers,
this way. He's in the
administrators
woods.
scrambling,
He's a
students
hunter.
grappling with the
He
discovery
knows
that
what's
someone they trusted may have lived a double life.
Mm.
One public, one private, one deeply disturbing. And within the sheriff's office, detectives are working around the clock, combing through digital evidence, phone
I'm not
records,
gonna lie.
movement
I'm sure he
logs,
has help.
community tips,
Just my
trying to
opinion.
piece
He
together
has some
Turner's final
help.
known
He just
hours,
obviously got a tip from the
trying to
sheriff's office. He's
understand if
probably
his
a good old boy
disappearance
loving
was
his friend.
impulsive or planned.
Somebody
What
is
they do
connected
know,
to this person,
what they have
in my
confirmed,
opinion.
is that the charges are not based on rumor,
Mm.
not
My
on
God.
speculation, not on he said, she said.
Woo.
They come from months of
Woo.
investigation,
Months.
digital forensics, and a
Mm-mm.
body of evidence prosecutors describe as detailed and significant.
Yeah, that's
But there is still one missing piece,
mm-mm.
the man at the center of it all. And until he's found, this case remained a collision of two realities: the respected coach everyone thought they knew, and the fugitive investigators say he has now become. This morning, we break down the case, the charges, the
I
timeline,
need more information.
and the
I
unanswered
need more
questions
information because
surrounding the
what was
disappearance of
given
Travis Turner,
is that he was
a
taking
man who
pictures
walked off the field
of the
into
boys
the
on his
shadows
team.
at the exact
Like
moment
that.
the
That's
truth
what I'm
was
getting
closing
from.
in.
I don't know.
Before the headlines,
That's what it seemed like.
before the warrants, before the
And
statewide
distributing pictures. Like
manhunt,
what?
there was simply a man named
Woo.
Travis Turner. In Shenandoah County, he wasn't a stranger. He wasn't a drifter. He wasn't someone passing through. He was rooted here, deeply.
Okay, so he
The kind of
knows
man
the
whose face you
backwoods.
recognize at the grocery store, at Friday night football games,
He's a
at end
fixture
of
in the
season
community.
banquets.
He would have been
A
embarrassed
familiar
as
figure in a
hell if
place where
he didn't know.
familiarity matters. Turner built that image through years of coaching high school football,
Years. It's probably been
standing at
going
the
on for years.
50-yard line with a
Going on for
clipboard in
years.
one hand and a whistle in the other.
And a camera in the other.
And in a
child.
small community,
My God.
a coach is more than a job title. He becomes a symbol, a steady voice, someone families trust with their teenagers during some of the most vulnerable years of their lives.
Exactly.
People didn't just know Turner, they believed in him. Parents described him as firm but fair. Students called him Coach T, the man who pushed them to run faster, train harder, stand straighter. He applauded good sportsmanship, lectured about discipline, and said the qualities that make a strong team also make a strong life.
Yeah.
It's not dramatic to say that for many young athletes, he filled a space somewhere between mentor, teacher, and father figure. And in places like rural Virginia, that kind of influence carries real weight.
Because everybody knows everybody.
Off the field, his life looked almost predictable. Steady routines, familiar friends, the same gas station coffee every morning. He wasn't flashy, wasn't controversial, wasn't someone who drew attention. He blended in. He fit the mold. And sometimes the people who fit in best are the people no one ever looks at twice.
Yeah.
That's why the news, the charges, the disappearance landed like an earthquake. Because nothing in Turner's public life suggested a man living in conflict. Nothing hinted at secrets. Nothing warned anyone that investigators were building a case behind the scenes,
I mean, if they would have
collecting
been building
digital
a case,
files,
then
tracking behavior, assembling enough evidence to walk up to his front door
my
with an
God,
arrest
yeah,
warrant.
it was going down.
But that's the thing about public images.
It was about to
They're
go.
only as complete as what we can see. And sometimes the largest part of a person's life is the part no one sees at all.
Well, he seemed
In
like the
Turner's
largest
case,
part of the
there
life.
were no
He
public
seemed like he was very
outbursts,
large, but
no
I
rumors
can't tell
circulating
if
among parents,
he's large now
no
or
whispers in the teacher's
I don't
lounge,
know. He was
no red flag
large.
students recognized in hindsight. Not a single piece of his outward personality suggested the storm that was coming. Yet privately, away from the field, away from the kids, away from the community, the investigation tells a different story. One that authorities say contradicts everything people believed about him. A story built not from gossip or speculation, but from files recovered, records traced, and evidence prosecutors now describe as significant. So when the sheriff's office
When are they
finally
gonna speak
prepared to
out?
act,
Because right now
when they
everybody's
were
just
ready
looking
to
for
show
him.
up at his
Where is
home
he?
before sunrise
That's
with a
it.
stack of
What
charges,
files do y'all have?
the man who once stood so visibly in the middle of a football field was suddenly
What are the actual
invisible,
charges?
vanished,
That's what we need to get into. 'Cause
leaving
he's on.
behind a community forced to reconsider the uncomfortable truth that sometimes the people we think we know the best are the ones we knew the least.
Small town, y'all knew.
And that is
you
where
don't
the
have to say
mystery
anything.
begins. The day everything collapsed
He's
didn't
a pillar
begin
in the
with
community. He's a
chaos.
football coach.
It
Football
began
team is doing
quietly,
very well right now. Just want to get that
morning,
one.
not
Action.
unlike hundreds before it. No alarms from neighbors, no early phone calls, no movement that stood out in any unusual way. Yet
No
somewhere
giant
between
hunting.
night and dawn,
He can survive out
something
here.
changed in the life
Good.
of Travis Turner. Investigators say they approached the situation methodically. The warrants had been secured, the evidence compiled,
My God.
the
Yeah.
team briefed. They
The
weren't
team was
expecting
briefed.
resistance.
It has to
Turner
be
had
people
no
on the
history of
team.
violence,
It has to be people on the
no
football
criminal
team.
record,
He had to be.
no indication he would react unpredictably.
Yeah. No.
What they
He had to be
anticipated
abusing
was a
the
tense
boys on that football team.
conversation, not
The
a
team was already
disappearance.
briefed.
But as authorities made their way toward his home, the timeline began to fracture.
Somebody called him.
Turner's truck, usually an extension of him, almost a part of his identity, was there, parked as if he'd stepped away for only a moment. An ordinary scene, yet entirely wrong. Because a man preparing to flee doesn't leave behind the one vehicle he depends on, and a man planning to surrender doesn't vanish into silence.
Surrender.
Inside the house, the details were even stranger. Nothing overturned, nothing damaged, no signs of packing or hurried movements.
He didn't want his family to know.
A stillness
didn't
that
want his
didn't
wife to
match the gravity of what was coming for him. People expect chaos before a disappearance, but seasoned investigators know the quieter the scene, the deeper the questions. Sheriff's deputies knocked, called out, waited. Nothing. He was gone. And the absence didn't feel accidental.
know. He was gone.
The first few hours after a disappearance determine everything. Authorities immediately widened their search radius. They checked nearby woods, roadways, out to state agencies. Every protocol designed to locate someone quickly was activated. But the strangest part wasn't what they found.
I don't buy that.
It was what they didn't find. A man with a full of routines suddenly had none. For a community used to seeing Turner at predictable times and places, the abruptness of his disappearance raised more questions than the charges themselves.
Come on now.
Some wondered if he panicked. Others suspected he planned this moment long before he ever approached.
No.
Some feared self-harm. Others whispered about hidden help.
Yep.
But investigators weren't ready to jump to any conclusion.
Well, he's still
They
missing.
kept the
We
scope
still don't have a
wide.
conclusion. So
They studied his final known
where is he?
movements.
What's going on?
They traced bank activity, none. They examined recent communications, nothing significant. They checked highways, neighboring counties. They notified state lines. Yet the manhunt revealed only the same unsettling truth. Turner had walked away from his life as though a switch flipped. Back at the school, word spread before officials could even control it.
Of course.
Teachers learned from texts, students from screenshots of headlines, parents from frantic group chats. And the shock didn't come only from the charges. It came from the fact that Turner had vanished before anyone could ask him a single question. Disappearance has a way of rewriting a person instantly. The moment Turner was reported missing, he was no longer a coach under investigation. He became something else, a fugitive, a mystery, an unpredictable variable in a case already fraught with emotion. And for the sheriff's office, the disappearance changed the entire trajectory of the investigation. From that moment forward, it was no longer only about the crimes he was accused of. It became a race to find a man who had chosen to walk off the map.
They're not being
A man who had slipped past the moment of
they're not being
accountability.
in this video.
A man who
They're
left
not
behind nothing except questions.
The
And every hour he remained missing made the story darker.
y'all know
The moment
somebody
authorities
tipped
confirmed
him
that
off.
Travis Turner was
That's
no
how you
longer at his home, the investigation shifted from a planned arrest to a genuine manhunt, and the tone of the entire case hardened instantly.
All right, well, as
Detectives
of
who
this,
originally
course,
expected to conduct a
still not, has
straightforward
not been found.
apprehension now found themselves piecing together a trail that didn't behave the way most missing person cases behave. Turner didn't leave a note, didn't reach out to anyone close to him, and didn't exhibit any behavior that suggested panic
Because he
or
had
frantic escape.
he got a call and he had to get
Instead,
the F out of there.
investigators were confronted with an absence that felt deliberate, an unsettling calm that raised more questions than it answered. From the first hours, the sheriff's office expanded their search radius far beyond the neighborhood. They coordinated with Virginia State Police, alerted surrounding counties, and began reviewing any form of public infrastructure that could confirm Turner's movements. That meant highway ramps, rural road intersections, store cameras along commonly traveled routes,
I think someone is helping
anywhere
him.
he might have passed through.
I think he's in the woods.
But the early review revealed
Somewhere,
something investigators do not
cabin,
often
somewhere.
see. A stretch of time where Turner seemed to slip
Friend.
between locations without being captured on any of the systems that typically record even mundane daily movement. This lack of usable information didn't point toward a sophisticated escape plan, but suggested intention.
If they show that picture one more
Someone who
time,
leaves abruptly often acts in a rush, drives erratically, withdraws cash, purchases supplies, reaches out to
not if
someone in
someone's helping them.
distress. Yet none of those patterns appeared.
Someone helped him.
Turner had
and
not
let him know
touched
they
his
were
bank accounts.
coming,
He had
and
not
they're
logged
helping him
into
out.
email. He had not been detected buying fuel or making a recognizable
Well,
purchase.
truth be told, it's probably
The
someone who
absence
he
of
was
activity
distributing
gave
those
the
images
search a
to.
difficult
He's not
shape,
the only person
one with
doing
too
criminal
many
wrongdoing
possible
here.
directions.
If he was taking those pictures
Detectives turned their
and then
focus to
distributing them,
geography.
it's many parties at play.
Shenandoah
And
County
other people
sits
don't
in a
want to be
region
exposed.
where a person
So
can
he's going to get
disappear
out.
quickly by heading into mountain terrain, dense rural
All right.
stretches, or states only hours away.
All right. I had enough. My takeaway is that someone helped him. They tipped him off. Whether it be within the sheriff's office or it be within the prosecutor's office or whatever. This is a small town. He's a notable figure in that small. It's devastating news, especially because it's regarding children, and he is a coach, as a football coach within this program, which has been very notable in the Virginia community as of late with their football program. So this is devastating news. And I think that someone assisted him in in letting him know that the people were coming, because he just left. Like, he wasn't frantic apparently. He just walked into the woods. Now, He knows these woods. As we see, he's a hunter. He's familiar with the area. He's from there. He knows where to go. He knows where to hide. He knows all of these things. So at the end of the day, this is not like foreign terrain to him. He's familiar. And I think that someone else, or maybe the same person, is helping him to sustain. They haven't even come across a body. So my first thought was that he had killed himself, but they would have found him. I think that it's a lot more at play here. I think that he was taking pictures or doing something inappropriate with the boys on his football team. That's number one, because they said that the team was notified. Now, I don't know. The team was notified before he went missing. So they were notified of these charges, which leads me to believe that the team members are the ones that came forward about the allegations. Okay, so before he went missing, before the police came to his door, they were supposed to come to his door. The video just said that the team members were notified. Okay, so that means that they had involvement in some way, shape, or form, because we heard that the faculty and other members were notified after he went missing. So team members had to be involved. I think he was doing something with the boys on his team. I think it's probably been going on for quite some time, years, in fact. He's been a coach for a very long time. So he's probably been doing this for a while. And I think that he was distributing those images somewhere. It said that they have files and stuff for distribution. So whoever he was selling these images to or sharing these images with, I think that they are also involved in helping to hide him because they don't want to be exposed themselves. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Those are my thoughts. And like I said, it's December 1st. We still don't know where he is, and no missing body has been found. So we will keep, I guess, waiting to see what the next moves are. All right, check y'all out later. Okay, how do I end this?